Tapos sasara ko na kasi kung hindi, ayan, okay.
Says we're now streaming.
Yes.
We're streaming. We're live.
Yeah,
Hi,
we're
everyone.
live.
Hello, everyone. We're back for week 2 of our Come Out, Whoever I Am. I'm Lance. I'm a sole purpose activist, and I'm with my friends. Let's start off with Dave.
Yes.
Say hi.
How are you? Hi. Hi. Am I mute? Let me check. Okay. Hi. I'm David. I'm a sole purpose activist. It's labeled right here. And I'm here with these lovely ladies because we are here for Pride Month and coming out on sole purpose. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Hi.
Yes, this is inspired.
Next lady.
Hello, David.
Yay. What?
Who's
Am I
next?
supposed to say something more?
Who do you want
Who's
to go next? PowerPoint.
Oh, PowerPoint. Okay.
Point 2.
The pray to Claudine.
Oh, hold on. I am, okay, so I'm Claudine and I'm, geez, what am I? I'm a sole purpose activist, mover, pusher, ano pa ba?
Yeah, actually, you're a pusher, no?
Oo, but of the good kind, ha?
Yeah, you're one of my pushers in terms of, yeah, let's just do this. So thank you, Miss Claudine. Sole purpose pusher. Cool.
Okay. So, Ames, your turn.
Oh, I think Aves is having problems with her internet.
Yeah. There she
Go
is.
ahead,
Are you back,
Aves.
Aves? There you go.
Yes. Okay, I'm back. Whew, I'm Aves. I'm having problem with my internet. And I am a sole purpose mover like Claudine, Lance, and David. And also I am the only member of the rainbow community amongst the four of us. Just to be clear. Yeah, just to be clear. Baka kasi. Yun lang.
So Claudine, David, and Aves, how are you coming off from? We're coming off from the last session of the conversations that build the future in Soul Purpose Hub. Where we are all members of. And what can you say about the session? Kasi we can still invite people because the conversations are still on Soul Purpose Hub. They can still watch the replay. So this is a good time to also invite people there and to share how was your experience, how was your week after that.
Is that from the, oh, say, Abe, go ahead.
Yeah, well, she has.
This is about, yeah, well, you read my mind. But this is about last session, right?
Yeah.
So my week was very heavy because it was finals week and I teach college kids. So super duper heavy, finalizing requirements, finalizing grades, etc. And well, now that I look back, I was talking about sole purpose. I was talking about like my particular experience of coming out about it. And then for some reason, natanggap ko lang. It's just I all of a sudden just got a sense of acceptance that, this is just a hard week. And sometimes work is hard, and that's just part of fulfilling your sole purpose, however that looks like right now, whether it's checking projects or listening to oral exams or computing grades or double computing it to make sure they're right, all of those things. So sometimes I napaisip na ako kasi, like, when you say sole purpose, it sounds so glorious, right? Like, oh, this is the thing I was meant to do. But actually, there's a lot of nitty-gritty involved. So, and there is that glory in the nitty-gritty as well. Parang yun nga yun, I realized, this is it. This is part of it. So yun, wala lang, yun. It was so simple, and yet there was a lot of ease somehow. Kahit napuyat ako. Yun lang.
Si Dean is ready.
I forgot what I was going to say. Let's listen to Ames. Must be the age.
si Din is, I just want to go back na sinabi ko I agree that you're a pusher. Kaya parang kahit basa yung hair ko, diba? Parang let's just do this. Parang
Let's do this.
let's take out.
No need to be perfect.
Yeah, it's helped me. What you told me has helped me take out a lot of the thinking and the need to overly prepare and overly anticipate what could go wrong. And so there's more space to just and energy to do the work because some of the worries and anxieties are eased out.
I mean, I could be that the same as like I would overthink, I would over prepare just so everything will be perfect.
Yes.
But I also learned sometimes I swing to the other side, that parang I get to be impulsive, like let's just do this. Let's not overthink this and just like what the heck, just do it. And sometimes I find more freedom in that.
Yeah.
Because I remember telling some people like, oh, they say that I don't think I'm ready, I don't think I'm good enough, I don't think yada 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 yada. I said, you know what, you'll never be really ready. So just do it, just jump right into it, and you learn as you go along. And that's what I did actually. Well, I thought I didn't know how to teach. I'm not like Ace. I'm not a teacher, but somehow I found myself in the teaching path. And so far so good, of course, with the help of God and the Blessed Mother and masters and teachers. Although sometimes I get a 2x4 once in a while.
How about you, David? How was last week?
If I recall correctly, last week's conversations that build the future was about commitment, something about that, right? So I find that by reinstating my commitment to soul purpose, there's this added resilience that I feel. Like there's a lot of things on my to-do list for a business, etc. Especially we're already adapting to the new normal, blah blah blah. But there's this certain resilience that I feel that even if I have to add one more thing to the to-do list, it's like, okay, I can do this. It's just calm. It's not this, oh my God, there's more things to do. No, it's like committing to my soul purpose gives me that, I would call it an infinite battery recharge.
Yeah.
And it's not zzz, it's not coffee. It's really just, okay, let's do this. Sustainable.
Okay.
Like one step at a time.
Yeah, I'm hearing that for Aves, there's a lot of things to do, and there's this yielding that comes in, like allowing and accepting that, yeah, it's part of it. And then si David, then I think David, when you commit, it takes out the time that you spend thinking whether you're going to do it or not. So you just add it to your list. The question becomes, is it part of my soul purpose? Instead of, do I do this? Do I want to do this? Why would I do this? Diba? Parang, so there's this reframing that happens when the commitment is already there. Tama ba? Yes,
It's
Yeah.
go first, Aves.
Actually, I was thinking, no, I think someone mentioned in the chat something about a game. I think I was Claudine. Pero diba, when you're playing basketball, when you're just in the game, you have no time to think, ready na ba ako? Ready na ba ako mag-basketball? Because you're literally just in the game. Or when you're a kid, if you remember, now I remember, now as a kid, parang you don't have a script, but when you're inventing a game, you're just going along with it, and then you're co-inventing the game with your playmates. All of a sudden, you become a mermaid, and the next moment you're a monster. It's parang okay lang. So walang pressure. You don't go and say,
Tama ba
oh no,
to?
I'm not ready to be. Yeah, diba? It's that takes away the joy. This need to know ahead of time. With a clear picture of how it should look like. So when you're fully in that game, you just do what you think is part of the game.
Yeah,
Ganun
I
lang
see.
siya
Yeah, I
kasimple.
remember since I was listening to Sadhguru, he said that the mind cannot live in the present. Either it regrets the past or
The
it
future.
anticipates the future. So when you're kind of parang the brain medyo nagsiset, ano siya, nagtitake a seat. Ano tawag doon?
Backseat.
It takes the back seat, then you're able to enjoy more because you're more intuitive, you go with the flow, ganyan. So if I would recap, the past week and has been busy, but it was with ease. Kay Eves, and then for David, yeah, there are more things to add to the list, but you know it's aligned with your soul purpose, and so the decision is automatic to just do it. And Claudine is to just do it, and having the acceptance that you can't really be as prepared as you want to be sometimes. So those are just some of the realizations we got from the conversations that build the future. And we're inviting you all to go to Soul Purpose Hub. It's a private group here on Facebook. The replays are still there. We're all members of Soul Purpose Hub community. And this conversation on Soul Purpose is also inspired by that community. So we go now to our discussion. When we announced this event, we said that we'll have a discussion around what is it like living in the closet of unexpressed soul purpose and what keeps us from being who we truly are. Siguro sometimes what keeps us from being who we truly are is that feeling of I still have these things to do. Siguro when I have enough money, I'll be my sole purpose. When I am fully prepared, let me be prepared until the time doesn't come. So how do you know you're ready? And what if you're ready already? You just don't know it.
Yeah. Parang ganun nangyari. Parang that's what happened to me. Like, I suppose I was ready and I was the one uh, who thought I wasn't, to start teaching Akashic because the masters were the ones like, oh, she's ready. Like, huh? But I guess as I went along, even if I felt the jitters and even if I felt inadequate, even if I felt like I'm doing this sloppily, but I guess what just pushed me was just do it one day at a time, just do it one class at a time. There's always room for improvement. Like, oh, okay, I messed up there. So how do I fix that? So that's something. And then looking back after a few years, that was the only time I realized, oh, yeah, I was ready. So you wouldn't know you're ready in the now. Yeah, there's all these feelings of anxiety, of nervousness, of angst, and all this conflicting emotions inside. But nangibabaw, what nangibabaw in English? What
I have a
Override.
word, but it's not really the correct one.
Override, I think, diba?
I don't know.
Override.
What's over?
Don't they use that in Jollibee when you cancel your order? Ma'am, override.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Sa
That's
banko rin. In the banks, di ba? The tellers shout at the manager, override. Then the manager does something.
o basta in Tagalog, nangingibabaw
Yeah.
was I just felt this urge inside to just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Even if I felt I wasn't ready, even if I felt I wasn't good enough, even if I felt I wasn't prepared, nor was I perfect, do it. So that was how I found out that years later on that, oh yeah, I was ready. I don't know about you guys. What about you? Oh,
Can I share? What?
Yeah.
sure.
I
Yeah.
was waiting
So
for you to finally be really unmute.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I was
was
looking for the
waiting.
button. For me, the imagery is I felt like a duckling who is looking at water, and This is this hesitation to just get into the water. Okay, there's this doubt, but the other ducklings are going in, the mother ducks, all the other ducks are there. But there's this hesitation. And yet, being a duck, I am well built for the water. I can easily get into it, like they say, duck to water. I find that for me, in my experience, when opportunities present itself to express soul purpose, that's when I'm ready, regardless of what I think.
Oh, ganda yun.
When the
When
opportunity
the
is there,
yeah, please
presents
repeat.
itself,
I really love that.
the opportunity presents itself to me to express my soul purpose. It means I am ready, regardless of how I look like, how I feel like, if my hair is a mess, if I'm wearing, t-shirts with holes in them, if I don't look my best, you know. So when it's there, it's there. And it's just a matter of choice to step into it. Okay. And I find that that's actually the powerful thing. When the opportunity is there, but if I'm pushed into it through peer pressure, it doesn't express itself as much. There's like this, lag time, or this, it's not 100%. But if it's a choice that I make, to step into it without anybody else saying anything, I find that the expression is more than I realized. It's more than I managed, or more than my expectation. Okay. It's like there were some times that I was very hesitant to come up with some programs for just to let everyone know what part of the things that I do is I actually share meditation techniques to help people manage stress and all those other things. And there are times when people ask me for help on something, and there's a certain hesitation. Am I the right person for this, etc.? But the opportunity is there. So I decided to just go into it. And before I know it, the person shifts. And it's better than I actually expected. So, okay, so I was of service in this way. All I had to do was choose to be that service to that other person. So, okay. Even for some doubts or I'm unprepared. It's just my own insight. Is there more that I could share or
I
what?
love
Oh, go ahead, Ace.
I love what you said, David. Super swak. Um, I was gonna say for me, the experience was a combination of both opportunities coming in, like it's like seeing that the opportunities call for you to come out, and self-election. Like you have to choose yourself for that, for to say yes. So it's a meeting point, and I'm seeing like it's a meeting point of your yes and the opportunity. And it's so difficult not to see the opportunity when it shows up. Like for instance, with me, because I'm always in denial about being ready, because I always think I'm not as good as everyone, I'm not as ready as everyone. I have this deeply ingrained belief that I'm always the last one in class. Ganyan, parang I'm the kulala. Anyway, or I'm the repeater even, like in the classroom of life, something like, oh, hawak ko ipit ko lang. In the classroom of life, I'm the repeater. What I found out was just by doing it, like what Claudine said, doing what's there for you every day to do. I realized I'm doing it na pala. Or like it's like not knowing. It's like saying I don't know how to swim, but being in the water already anyway, and then not knowing that you're already swimming, you're already floating, you're already, you're already with people, and then at least that was how it was for me. And then realizing, oh, I'm already there, and it feels so much better to be here than in that refusal out of fear to come out. And same thing with coming out as as queer. You come out, you're scared, but all of a sudden, because of the friends with you, na parang mas malaki just be part of the family. So yeah, it's like that. For me, it was a gradual acceptance. And until now, like every day, the part that's not easy for me with work, like when I'm cramming or when I'm procrastinating, it's when I see where there are spots of no, kumbaga, nowhere, what I say no to, that is mine anyway. Like parts of the job that I say no to, but I'm clear naman that they're part of my job. So something like that. Yeah. So that's how it's been for me.
Um, it makes me wonder also, you said that it's a combination of the opportunity presenting itself and you saying no, and the meeting of the two is that expression of the sole purpose. Um, I would like to think also that sometimes it's the yes that presents the opportunity. Like when the student is ready, the teacher would appear thing.
It
Because
could be that the yes is actually there,
hmm,
and they just don't realize it. Anyway, sorry. Internet delay. Talo ka, tapos
it
ka na.
can be that. It's
Actually,
really
la-
okay. You just speak because the lag would compensate.
yeah. Actually, plans to comment on what you said. It's like that's an old adage. When the
Mm,
student is ready, the teacher will appear. Diba? In my own
yeah.
experience, there's a second part to that I add
Mm,
in because
mm,
of my experience. When the teacher disappears, that's when the student has to step forward and express sole purpose without help on their own. Because there is a tendency for me before to be dependent on a teacher or a guru or a figurehead to hold my hand, like a child. But eventually the child has to grow up,
mm.
right? Eventually the eaglet, has to just go out of the nest and spread its own wings.
More like get pushed out.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing that
Get
it's been
pushed
a good,
out or
yeah.
yeah. It's something like that. Like there's a time for mentorship and what you went through. But in time
Mm,
when the mentors distance themselves, it's like that's the time the student steps up to be their own
mm,
teacher already. You see, the teacher's not
yes.
anymore out there. The teacher becomes inside na, you know.
Mm.
So true.
And
And that,
that's, di ba?
yeah, that's the best, and that's the best way that the teacher that the te- that teacher is teaching you now. It's not by holding your hand but by allowing you to be your own type of teacher, or your own person. And I'm hearing that, so when you're ready, finally, okay, you're a student, you're both a student and a teacher. I'm hearing from you that it's been mostly positive, mostly ease when you finally say yes, you take the next step. But is it all good stuff? Because as for me, when I felt, there were times that I felt ready but I wasn't. So, and I've committed mistakes like that too. But
We all
well,
bomb at
okay,
one point
well,
in time.
okay, I'll complete my story later because I see you nodding. So anyone can just share what they have in mind.
No, but I like how
Well,
David summarized it. Do you remember?
Wait, did we answer the
which
question of
the about the
Lance?
teacher,
Like, how is it like before we
which
came
one?
out? It's like,
Yeah, well, for me, that's it. Before I came out, I was always watching my back. If I can just continue the train of thought, right? Like there is certain groups that I can be myself and express these certain aspects, and then when I go out there, I have to be very careful. And okay, I'll give an example. All right, back in the day when I started doing corporate workshops, I had to be careful about the languaging because we work with energy meditation. So back in the day, mga 2 decades ago, the
Vibration.
languaging had to be careful. Yeah, had to be careful so that we don't exactly shock the HR or the people in front of us. But I noticed over time, that's what people are looking for. There was one time when I was in a corporate workshop and then I had a nice outline, and then one of the people said, "We read your bio or something like that, and you said you're into this healing thing, mga ganon. Can you explain more about that?" When I heard that, okay, I looked at my outline, just threw it aside. Okay, so this is how it goes. Da, 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 da. And they were appreciative.
Oh,
That's
that's
something
nice.
that they wanted to hear, which is out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
Because
and when
a lot
you're
of the
when
corporate
you're
stuff that
ready,
I was
yeah.
already sharing,
Mhm.
yeah, because the
When
opportunity
you're
was
ready,
there.
sorry,
Eh,
may lag din between Valenzuela and
So,
Quezon City.
yeah,
Please proceed, David.
yeah. So the last statement is a lot of the corporate stuff that I was prepared to give, they already heard it from someone else, and they had a book about it.
Yeah.
So in a way, they were ready for the out of the box thing that I was willing to share.
Yeah. So
So
go.
that's pretty much one of my sole purposes, to be out of the box in some things.
And then when you say yes and you take the opportunity that's presented, you'll really be, I find that you can be surprised with how you are accepted. Because
Yeah.
and then it begins with accepting yourself, diba? So once you've accepted yourself, you take the opportunity that's presented, now it's easier for others to accept you too. So it's really very similar to coming out. You have to accept first who you are, and then you share that with the world.
Uh,
And then no regrets naman din ako during the times that I
well,
failed because I felt I was ready
mm,
and I wasn't, because it's part of my process, my journey, and it helped me with my self-mastery. Now I know what to avoid. Now I know what to not do. Now I know what my common pitfalls are. Yeah, Dave?
mm. Actually, Lance, based on continuing what you said, that the crowd accepting, actually, I find it like when I accepted myself in front of them, that
Mhm.
gave them permission to also accept themselves. All right, because I just found out in that crowd, there's some people who are pretty much weird like me.
Yeah, they're
You
looking for
know,
an opening lang pala, no?
yeah, yeah. So I'm not alone. Oh, you too. Oh, you too. You read that book too. Oh, so it's a discovering that I'm not the only duck who's afraid of water. So
Yeah. Anyone just start speaking when there's something you want to contribute. But I want to mention that it's really very different now, because even
oh,
performers like BTS, they use the word
woo,
energy already. Like when
yeah,
you ask them, okay, this song Dynamite, for example, is they're doing it during quarantine, during the pandemic, and they're saying that we just want to give off positive energy to the people around us. So I find it refreshing and I loved it because I don't remember hearing that before from like singers, that I want to give good energy from this song, diba? Parang, which is really nice.
I'm trying to remember if I heard that before in listening to Pantera.
Okay,
And
okay.
to have in metal music. So I'm not sure. But yeah,
They could be ahead
uh
of their time.
no,
But
no,
now
no, they don't. I
this
actually don't hear that.
this is all over
Ayun nga.
YouTube. They during interviews,
Right.
interviewers will ask them, "Oh, what's the song about?" "Oh, we just want to give more positive energy." This, even when they shoot reality shows or variety shows,
Right.
they would say, "Oh, this is very relaxing for us, and the army, the fans are giving us good energy, and we're so thankful about it." So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
different
So
language.
ako din, I don't remember. Yeah, it's in the language. No, I don't remember hearing that in those bands or musicians that I used to listen to.
Mhm.
Um, I think there's a clearer
actually,
picture, if not very, very clear yet. There's a clearer picture of how we are all connected nga. Like lalo na with social media, right? Like what you see on your wall, whether it's happening in Bosnia or Africa or Brazil, it impacts how you are at the moment, which impacts how we feel about the day. So there's more awareness now of the power of the kind of energy we give off. That's why BTS is powerful, even if I'm not yet ARMY, because I'm not aware of what's happening.
And
But David had something to say yata.
yeah, and maybe
yeah, yeah.
before, while David is unmuting, the smart nga pala campaign that they have, 'di ba? It's passion and purpose. I just remembered it.
Wow,
Yeah,
Oh, I
David,
nice.
didn't know.
Yeah. Oh
that's
yeah,
their campaign.
shout out to BTS. Look, color yellow, butter. But anyway, So
Wait. Let me say, I'm wearing pastel because my fellow Tita Armies were watching the online concert.
yeah, actually, going back to the music history of Aves, right? Back in the day, I think we come from almost the same generation. There was these bands that were very angst ridden, like Nirvana. I mean, great, sounds of the day, but very angst, right? And a lot of them had a lot of angst, like the grunge revolution. And I feel my own opinion is because that was about the angst of fitting in society, saying no to their sole purpose. So there's this angst that they had to express, right? So moving forward to today, we see that the music is shifting to being more yourself and authenticity, right?
The, are you
Wasn't
finished,
that
Dave?
Yeah. That's just what I
The,
observed.
the first songs of BTS were actually full of angst also.
The
Yeah,
because I feel
about
they were,
fitting in, going to school, being forced to have good grades. Um, yeah, and then their campaign is Love Yourself, di ba, Claudine?
Yeah. I think that was what started this conversation last night that we had. It's like
Mm.
when I heard their speech at the UN, and I was like, OMG, these young kids are talking about what we what I'm just discovering. So they're way ahead of the game.
Mhm, mhm,
Um so they talk about like accepting parts of themselves that are not so nice, but it's just part of who they are. And they talk about love yourself and speak yourself and something about what's in the name.
mhm.
What's their what's EST will follow. What's EST?
Actually, I
Um,
feel they're because they're young and they're doing this. I feel they represent the generation who speaks for the collective that says enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's like
mm,
it's the start of authenticity as
mm,
the best marketing you have,
mm,
right? It's like authenticity, honesty, transparency. That's
mm,
the best marketing.
mm,
I came from the advertising industry way back, and a lot of times we had to. It's like spinning a story to make things
Conform.
look good, to conform, to make things look good, to put on the mask, best foot forward. That was the rule of the day. But now it's shifting. I feel.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
So, parang
Yeah.
ano na, can we say that the walls between who you truly are and the person that you present outside is ano na, it's
Slowly disintegrating.
yeah, so slowly coming down. And
Yeah.
oh, this is also very related to coming out. So sana the time
Yeah.
will come that
Exactly.
we're not coming out, we're just outside the box already.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's no
like
box that's
Could
being,
be. I mean, that's possible.
mm,
It's possible. Like for instance, in the area nga of sexuality or maybe we could say sexual preference, the norms are no longer are broken down. So the binary norms are starting to crumble down for the younger generation. But I think it's also because of the vehicle. Like there's social media, so it's easier for people from different sides of the world, for kids from different sides of the world to see what's happening and maybe share sentiments, share, like even with TikTok nga eh. Parang it makes me wonder why people go on TikTok just to dance there. Yeah, and then I realized people really are looking for authenticity. The more na parang the faker, more prepared someone seems, the
The
less
facade.
mabenta, like the less it sells. And also, I think
mm,
we see that in politics, right? The politicians who sell are the ones who do not have that facade. Like
mm,
Mayor Vico, for instance, pag naiinis siya, when he's pissed off, he just should say, sinabi na nga, ang kukulit niya naman eh, di ba? And that, people appreciate that because they see that they're not watching companies or a production team. They're watching a person. So yeah, I think it's part of it. The authenticity sells, and that's what BTS also might. I'm assuming.
yes,
I'm thinking
yes.
it's
That's why so,
authenticity that yeah.
It
yeah, that's why sometimes they people would say that the short BTS stands for behind the scenes because they show a lot of the behind the scenes and you can really see the personalities of the members. Yeah, I
Ganda.
love that.
Ganda nun. Yeah.
So, does this mean, so is this one of the selling points of what we're trying to convince people to do, which is to be themselves and to come out of the,
Or it's like
come out of their
discover,
boxes.
yeah, that's what you said, behind the scenes, right? So I would ask myself, okay, who am I behind the scene that I present to the world, right? So BTS as a way of self-inquiry behind the scenes. What is my
Actually,
scene, right?
that's one of the their appeal to me. Parang I see myself in them, in the members, and in a funny, entertaining way also. That's why they're so benta to me. I love them. Yeah, I guess I said it a lot of times. I love BTS.
Yeah. You're
So-
part of the army.
So all this that we're all of this that we're saying, how does it relate to being ready with your soul purpose? Are you ready?
Just come out. Just do
Yeah.
it.
Are you ready?
In the
I
rainbow
think that-
community, meron ding ganyan. The out versus the not out. And people people are learning to be respectful of those who are not out because being in the closet is also okay, but the thing is it boils down to what one owes to oneself more than anything else. How does it feel like to not be out about your truth, diba? Parang well, personally it felt so constipated to not be out about both my soul purpose and my sexuality. Until now, I'd say until now, I'm coming out because my closest friends are philosophical minded. Some are priests, atheists, agnostics. It's a whole, so it's not like everyone is spiritually oriented in the same way that I am. I'd be bashed for possibly being a cultist. Some people know I'm an Akashic reader as well. But the thing is, one by one, parang they start learning about me and how I do have this love for God. And, I have conversations with someone who's a complete denier of God's existence. And we can drink about that. And I'd say, I'm happy. And he'd be like, yeah, I'm happy for you. I'm actually quite envious. If only I could logically prove that God exists. Yeah, I know what that means because that's where I used to be. So parang may freedom kasi hindi ko na tinatago yung love ko for God. And that is a lot because they know me and you guys know me as this, number one, queer, irreverent, sometimes meme-loving, sexual, and sometimes even perverse woman who loves God. So parang hindi siya bagay dun sa box ng ano. So yeah, it's this, well, with this video, I guess it's a more general public coming out.
You're not a
Yeah.
box, Aves. You're not a box, Aves. You're a tetrahedron in 3D.
So if we were selling something, it's like there's a business case to what we're selling naman. And then it's liberating. And personally, when you're trying to hide something, it can be exhausting. It takes a lot of energy also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, super. Si Din may sasabihin.
Hindi lang exhausting, daming luha.
So kung iiyak ka na rin lang, umiyak ka na doing your soul purpose.
O, iniiyakan ko rin.
Yeah.
Pero parang iyak
Sabi
na
nga
may
ng best
tawa.
friend ko
Yeah.
dati,
Ano yun, Aves?
sabi nga ng best friend ko, kilala mo na yung best friend ko. Pero sabi nga niya, ang dami mo kasing keme. Sabihin mo lang kung ano totoo. So parang yun nga. I guess what we're marketing is tama na keme. Out with it.
Yeah, so if
Ready
I
ka
may
na.
go if I may go back to BTS, it was not an easy ride for them. It took years before they became successful. And so maybe in the beginnings of the soul purpose adventure, there will be bumps along the way. It will not entirely be easy, but I think it will be worth it.
Yeah. It's worth the ride. It's worth the trip. It's worth the adventure.
Yeah, what I discover with those bumps is that when I say yes to soul purpose, I find that I'm actually designed internally to take those kinds
Mhm.
of bumps, because the bumps that I encounter with denying my soul purpose hurt more. Okay, but with the bumps that come with saying yes to soul purpose are parang manageable. It's like yes, the duck goes into the water. The water is cold. It's freezing, but you know what? It's built for the cold. It has feathers, it has fluff, even if the waves are there, it's built for it,
Mm.
right? It
And
can
and
manage
I
it
love
somehow.
that. Yeah. Plus the soul is so, I always say this because I discovered it in my soul purpose journey. The soul is so resourceful. Like you don't know that you can forgive something so huge, and yet you find it in yourself to forgive. You don't know that you can care so much for others now. Maybe you haven't even met yet, and yet it's there. Parang it shows up the more that you say yes, and the more that you deal with your own, SH asterisk P. You get to see what you're capable of, and I'd even say that maybe we haven't started uncovering like a certain 5% or 0.009% of what we're capable of.
Mm.
I keep on getting surprised by what I can do in
And
terms of like,
what's
Actually,
the
yeah.
new?
It's talking about what, like, I just remember, as long as I'm aligned to God, the things that I'm capable of, my jaw just drops like,
Yeah.
I'm able to do that?
Wait, after you, Claudine.
Okay, go.
When we do soul purpose work, there's it's also automatic that there's a recognition that we're all interconnected, because there when we recognize that once we all do our soul purpose, then there will be a better future because everybody will be in their specific, special, unique place that's specifically, especially created for them. Like there's this niche that only you can fill. So once you go there and somebody else is not making epal and being in that place. So when we're in our own spaces, diba, then it's a perfect future. That's why we're saying that we believe that we can create a better future if it's built on the foundation of soul purpose. It's like a kitchen na kumpleto and everything is in the right place,
Right
doing the thing
place.
what they're supposed to
yeah.
do.
Yeah,
And knowing
like an
your
ecosystem.
purpose allows. Go ahead, David. Tama,
Oh,
I
it's
love
just
what
a
you're saying.
quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sige, quick lang. It's what Lance is saying also is like, it's like nature, because I always go back to nature as an example.
Yes, yan ang
The bees are
inspiration ko yung
doing
sinasabi
the
ko.
bees, the flowers are doing its flower thing, the lizards, the cockroaches, even the birds are doing their own thing. Yes, even if they're icky, but they're there, they have a purpose. Nature thrives.
Yeah.
And if we do our
Wait,
own niche,
nalimutan ko.
the collective will thrive together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
'Di ba when 'di ba when the tree, merong seedling na nasa kalye tapos may crack lang doon. Parang the leaves know to look for the sun, the stem to stand upright, the roots to go down and find water. They just do their own purpose and the tree will grow.
I remember what I was going to say, which is aligned along those lines. Part of my ethics is know thyself, to thine own self be true. And so every day is a constant learning about the self, which means learning about the world from my very specific perspective, my unique perspective. But what I realized is fulfilling your soul purpose involves knowing yourself, and therefore it's also knowing what is yours, what's not yours. And I know, lalo na pag masakit, yung consequence. I know when I'm taking what's not mine, whether it's responsibility or some other grace.
Mm.
And like if I were to fast forward that kind of knowledge, if human beings had that amount of like that level of or at least the interest, not level, the interest of knowledge about self purpose, a sole purpose, or what's mine, what's not mine, then I'm thinking maybe there'd be enough resources for everyone, right? Maybe the structures of society would be more equitable, um, because we're not taking beyond what's ours, because we are not taking beyond what we're responsible for or willing to be responsible for. So this sounds like a good idea, sole purpose. But actually, for me, um, what I want to see in my life, whether I don't know when it's gonna happen, but what I want to see in my life is how this kind of conversation will influence politics, economic structures, the international relations. How will it affect the ecology, and how, what if there's a way of doing economics that's um, unimaginable without consideration of the ecology. Yeah, yung mga ganyan. So that's my, that's what really, that's why I'm here. It's why I talk about soul purpose. From BTS to Brooklyn Nine-Nine to those seemingly detached topics, they're all part of it. So it's
Oo,
connected.
kasi,
That's
yeah,
what's for
David
me.
has something to say, pero I want you to share the Brooklyn 99, quote,
Okay, ikaw
quote
muna,
from
Aves.
Captain Holt.
Oh, tapusin mo na yan, Aves. Go. Nandiyan na yan. Go.
Tapos na ako, boss.
Si
Sinansi ata yung
Captain Holt,
sinasabi.
internet. I wanted you to share the quote of Captain Holt, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Sige, I'll read it. I left
And
it open.
maybe the kwento with Rosa.
Sige. Well, sige. Spoiler alert. We're gonna talk about how Rosa came out as bi in the story. And I don't remember which season this is. I think this is season 5, episode
Of
10.
Brooklyn 99.
Of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And then, so, Rosa thanked Captain Holt for his support when she came out. Something like that. I can't remember. And then Captain Holt said this. So when I was watching this episode, parang, but Captain Holt said this: every time someone steps up and says who they are, the world becomes a better, more interesting place. So thank you. That's what he said. And
I
that
agree.
applies not just to being queer, but also to, like, what is your soul purpose? What are you here for? So sobrang, yun lang.
Thank you, Aves.
Parang
Dave?
in other words, as when somebody frees themselves, it gives permission to someone else or other people to free themselves also.
And if you remember, right, in yoga, like when we are in parasympathetic mode, right, it also gets communicated to the person with us. But when we're tense, that's also, nakakahawa. They feel also tense. What do you call that again? I remember this when I did yoga teacher training. When your nervous system, I think, is in parasympathetic mode, which is your free.
Rest and digest.
It gets communicated.
We
So how talaga siya?
Kaya pag naghikab ka, maghihikab din yung katabi mo.
we call that in energy language, we call that the law of resonance. Like if I vibrate at a certain frequency, okay, it's going to be, it's like a virus, vibration is viral, so I can actually affect the next person and the next person, something down the line. Yeah. But also, if I might share, I'll just reacting to what Abe says, reacting to what Abe said about structures. Okay, if you're gonna see in this lifetime, what I'd like to see is in the boardroom of a big corporation. Corporations have this thing about let's expand, keep going, right? Expand to more markets. I like to see a corporation that says, okay, we're big enough, let's stop. Because if we expand more, we will be harming these communities and markets. We're enough. I like to see a corporation do that and be courageous to that.
I love what you're saying.
Diba?
I love what you're saying, Gabe. Super.
Yeah, because I took my master's, and in business, and always the consciousness is, let's expand. Let's go here, let's go there, build up our market share, our stock value, etc. Bring it up.
That's also how governments work. That's how
Yeah.
That
But
GNP, GDP, we have to make it bigger,
bigger. Okay, fine.
right?
That's good. But where's the sweet spot such that it's a spot where we thrive, but we don't uh, diminish other communities, markets, or ecosystems. Like enough's enough.
And
We know
Yeah,
where we stand. This is our niche.
we all
I
want to see it
watched
go.
someone. Sorry, but I
Go, go.
watched someone. I can't remember, Stacy Chin, someone like that. She said, "Look, this is how we run our governments. We want to make it bigger, and we want to expand, right? But if this were the body that we're talking about, something like this would be called cancer." Because it's occupying the entire body, multiplying exponentially. So we wanna, yeah. Anyway, Lance.
Go ahead, Lance. What's your
I
take?
forgot na yata. What was I thinking? I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than because David was saying about, oh, what's the sweet spot that's just right, not too much or not too little. More than that, I think it's also time for finding the right measures
Yeah.
of success.
Correct.
Who's to say that GDP is the right measure of a country's success, growth, and evolution, diba? Parang it can
Oh,
be a
Look
high
at
number.
Bhutan.
yeah.
Yeah,
Gross national
yeah.
happiness. In fact, with that, I like to bring in the this Asian American. Probably you've heard of him, Andrew Yang. Okay, and his campaign for presidency in 2019. I quote him. All right, GDP is the worst measure of a country's progress. It's the worst measure. But it's not accurate at all.
Yeah, and
It doesn't
if we
consider the
if we relate it to our lives, we came from measuring our success with money, our maybe job descriptions, our labels, how much salary we're getting, and at some point just realize, maybe there's a better way of measuring my success. How do I know if this salary is making me happy, diba?
yeah, yeah. And I feel moving into soul purpose helps me, at least I speak for myself, fill the chasm that motivates me to just get and get and get and get. It's like Gollum, my precious, must have, must have. So
Yeah,
shout
I
out to
got
LOTR fans. Yeah,
I got
Yeah, or
asked that
like the
question.
Fire Nation people in Avatar. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So it's like expand, expand, expand. So it's like filling up that chasm at the expense of other communities and systems outside of me.
Yeah.
Just referring back to what Lance was saying about success measures, what are
Yeah.
the measures of success. I got asked before, it's like, why don't you go find work, um and have a salary like that? Parang they can't, hindi magets na parang not everything is all about that. I mean, yes, money is important. I don't, I don't diss it, but there's a balance, eh.
Yeah.
At what point are you happy doing what you're doing? At the same time, you're still earning enough to be comfortable.
We're not saying here that money is the root of all evil and that we don't want
Oh,
that.
no, we're not.
However, we have also a partner group, as one of our sisters, Priscilla, has this Millennial Midas, and then Claudine also
Oh
has
yeah,
a workshop on prosperity. What we're saying is that if everything is in its place and you are being your sole purpose, the bee that does the work, if you're a bee, then all you need will be provided for,
yeah,
because just by doing what you are meant to do, you're contributing and you're actually doing something that's bigger than yourself. You're contributing something bigger. And it's 3:54.
I
It's
love how you do this, Lance.
it's tricky. It's tricky because we're saying it's hard to measure. Maybe we need a different measure. And I also think that maybe what we're trying to measure is cannot be measured by numbers. So we don't have the answers, but we know that we are here because we want to help people who's been looking for what ano bang gusto natin? Why are we here? We're here because
For those
We
who want to
want,
come out.
yeah, we want to reach out. We want people to know that there are others who are going through similar experiences, that there are groups they can join who can help them by having conversations, or maybe they can just lurk and read the experiences of others, and that's fine also. That would be their first step. Um, so thank you for everyone who listened to us.
Yeah.
I'll give the floor to you guys to say your goodbyes and last words for this session.
Yeah, me first. Okay, guys, as Lance said, you can visit people like us at Soul Purpose Hub Facebook group. Okay, me and Claudine, you can visit us at Satwa Wellness Facebook group. We're there too. We also shout out to our good friend Priscilla, Millennial Midas Facebook group. She's also one of us.
Yay.
Okay, and that's Bunny Aves. She's one of our sponsors for this talk. Support us so that we
Today
can
was
get her
brought to you
clothes.
by.
Yes. That's her sole purpose, to
Yeah.
wave at us like that.
I
So
also
thank
have
you
a
from
Facebook
David.
group, Soul Purpose Achievers.
Yes,
Yes.
I was gonna say. And also your other page, Lance Bilaran coach,
Lance
right?
Balaran page, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, go.
Next.
Okay, for me, if you're ready to come out, or even if you're not, if you just wanna start looking for a community to support you, go to Soul Purpose Hub and to any of those other groups that they mentioned, which they will likely tag in this post. However, you do that, I don't know how to do that, but yeah. So join us. We're very nice people. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, Din?
Okay, I like the analogy of how one of our other friends, Ice, described it. Like if that's another country, then we invite people to come visit, and if they like it, they're welcome to stay. You know, um, it's always nice to have. For me, traveling, which I miss. Traveling always kind of opens up my horizon,
It
opens up my
enriches.
perception about things, culture, people, their food. Especially their food is a gateway. So I would like to invite those who feel like a niggling, like maybe I'm not where I am right now. Maybe there's something else I can explore. And so we invite you to come check it out, you know. And if you don't really like it, if it's not your cup of tea, then you can always leave. It's fine. No hard feelings. So
Speaking
check
of
us out at
food,
SPH.
yeah. Speaking of food, there's a lot of food for thought in SPH. So we hope to see you there. Thank you everyone. And thank you.
Wait.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
announce about the next event in SPH? They might be interested.
Oh yes, do you have
At
the
the feet
details
of
At
the
the
now?
feet of the
master.
master, yes, June 26th. It's like Saturday morning, I think. 9? Is it 9:30?
Uh,
I'm opening it.
I don't
We'll
know.
post it in our
Can you
wall.
share screen? Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Just
Would you like to
keep.
share screen? Aves, you can do it now.
That's for
Wait, I'm
everyone,
not sure
right?
if I know how to do that. Yeah, it is for everyone. Well, they have
All
to be
right.
part of the Soul Purpose Club, but yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
they have to be part of the Soul Purpose Hub to be able to
So,
see it. It's a Facebook Live event.
Yeah.
okay,
So just check out Facebook Soul Purpose Hub. You'll see the event there, and you'll get to meet other people like us with that event.
in June, so that's happening on June 26th. You have time to go to the Facebook group,
There you
the
go.
Soul Purpose Hub, so that you can know more about this event and so that you can register. You need to be a member of the Soul Purpose Hub to register. We'll post a link in this FB Live on how to join Soul Purpose Hub. Thank you for remembering, Aves.
Thank you, Aves.
We're coming back next week, no, for more
Yes.
discussion.
Yep.
Okay, this was fun. Thank you, Aves, David, Claudine, and to everyone.
Thanks, Lance.
Bye
Thanks,
for
Bye.
now.
Bye for now.
Bye, Bunny Aves.